a presentation to state leaders, budget analysts are painting a stark outlook for Maryland's fiscal future. They say the state is headed towards a financial crisis that's worse than what happened during the Great Recession. Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor has more on the contributing factors and the potential solutions. Rebecca?
Well, according to the state's own budget analyst, Maryland's revenues simply can't keep up with spending that's been soaring over the last few years, meaning that in the long term, either cuts need to be made or taxes will be raised.
When lawmakers left Annapolis this spring, they celebrated the passing of a budget that avoided broad tax increases. But when they return in 2 months, the same financial problems persist.
There's going to need to be some actions taken fiscal 25.
The state's own budget analyst projecting by the end of 2025, Maryland will be in a $300 million budget shortfall, which balloons to $2.7 billion in 2026. And by 2030, the final year forecasted a dire $5.9 billion deficit.
That is the largest gap that we have seen in the last 20 years. It is a more significant gap than we saw during the Great Recession. So this is a significant challenge.
David Romans with the Department of Legislative Services blaming a stagnant economy and soaring spending. Romans pointing largely to record education funding under the blueprint for Maryland's future, in addition to higher than expected Medicaid costs and growing demand for the state's child care subsidy program.
So all those additional spending pressures are leading to spending growing much faster than the revenues.
Short-term solutions include tapping into the state's savings. Governor Westmore initially inheriting a $2.5 billion structural surplus and a $3 billion rainy day fund. Now, just $2.5 billion remains in the rainy day fund, but spending what's left could put Maryland's economy at risk.
Because if we were to fall into a recession in the next few years, you'd have very few options left to deal with it.
This summer, Moore proposing $150 million in budget cuts and lawmakers passing vehicle registration fee increases, both band-aids on a bleeding budget.
The governor has ignored this fiscal problem. Now it's getting worse.
Taxpayer advocate David Williams warning if the state doesn't significantly slash spending, pulling from your wallet may be the only option to close the growing gaps.
Tough decisions are going to have to be made, and hopefully those tough decisions are spending cuts and not tax increases.
Today, I reached out to the governor's office asking if he plans on making any spending cuts or raising any taxes in the near future. His office replied with a statement not addressing any potential cuts, but did say that the governor has a high threshold for increasing taxes. Reporting live in Baltimore City, Rebecca Pryor, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.